Hello children, welcome back to my talk, and here I am with standard 12th biology. Okay, so this is the second lecture on biodiversity and conservation. Okay, today we'll talk about patterns of biodiversity. Biodiversity, as earlier I have already explained, okay, the diverse forms of living organisms on the earth, maybe the different organisms or the species belonging to different phylums, animals, plants, everything all together. Okay, so what is the basis of the distribution? Now there are millions and millions of organisms, and I can't say that they are equally distributed on the earth. Okay, we have the Ghats, we have equator when we talk about the distribution, okay, geographical pattern. And as we move away from the equator, okay, the number of species goes on decreasing. Why? Because as we move towards the poles, okay, the temperature is not constant, even the solar energy. So all that they do not favor the multiplication of organisms, the reproduction of organisms, okay, the species. So all that matters. And what is it that matters? That only is there over here. So patterns of biodiversity, the very first topic is latitudinal gradients. Yes, it says that from the latitude range of 23.5 degrees north to 23.5 degrees south. Okay, this has more species as compared to all the temperate or polar regions. And I told you earlier that as we move away from the equator towards the poles, okay, towards the tropics, so there the number of species goes on decreasing. Now this, as I told you earlier, why? Because there are three complete, you can say, reasons for it. Speciation. Yes, this formation of species, formation of new species every time, evolution, okay, that takes years and years, okay, and for years to have a constant sort of environment, okay, that can be only found in the tropics. It is the tropics which supports a constant environment for speciation, for newer species to be formed, for evolution to take place. So that is what it is. The number of species are found more in latitudes and tropics, you can say. Yes, it is less seasonal. Okay, less seasonal means the seasons do not keep changing every now and then. Okay, it is more about constant sort of temperature, and the organisms are able to adapt to whatever the ranges of temperatures it changes from one to another, and hence that also helps in developing the niche diversity. Okay, here it is species diversity, here it is niche, that the habitat diversity. And then it is the solar energy. Yes, when we have the sun rays falling, coming directly on the earth, definitely that favors quite a lot of species of plants as well as animals. Now animals, why? Because animals are dependent upon the plants, and hence when the plants diversification is there, when the species diversity in plants is there, definitely there will be animal diversity as well. That will favor the animal diversity as well. Then we come to this species area relationship. Yes, this also matters a lot, that in a particular area what sort of species. So now this I'm going to explain it through this, because there is a graph in your textbook, okay, 18.3, which you see, and here it shows that von Humboldt, he observed that within a region, species richness, means the number of species that increased with increasing explored area. Means at a certain region, the number of species goes on increasing in a particular area. Okay, but that also is not unlimitable, okay, up to a certain limit. And after that, the relationship between species richness and area of wide variety of taxa. Wide variety of taxa, that is wide variety of this taxas, angiospermic plants, birds, bats, okay, the phylums, the animals belonging to different phylums, okay, that again multiplies, okay, that the number increases, and that is what we are talking about here. So this rectangular hyperbola, that is what it says. One is log s, and s is equal to ca square. This I'm not going to go in detail. You can see this curve, species richness, the horizontal line, okay, and the vertical is area, against it, it is there. Next we come to, and here yes, again there is that fruit eating birds and mammals in the tropical forests, in the tropics, okay, of different countries, the slope is found to be 1.15. Okay, so that also it increases in certain regions and decreases in others. Then we come to the importance of species diversity to the ecosystem. Yes, here the ecologists believe that communities with more species, okay, they tend to be more stable. Now, how do you say that in a certain ecosystem, in certain community, if there are more species, that will be more stable? What concludes to that? Okay, now it is very difficult to tell that a stable community should not show too much variation, okay, and the productivity from year to year also must not change, and occasional disturbances they should be able to face, all that, and they should also be able to face the invasions of some alien species, some foreign species. If they come, they should be able to fight. It's not that they should be eradicated, okay, but we do not know whether all this is linked with the richness of the species, okay. Then finally, there is also a question that how species richness contributes to the well-being of the human beings or of an ecosystem. Got it? So how does that contribute? And yes, the human race on the planet, the way we are causing harm to all the other organisms over here on the earth, okay, they are becoming extinct at an alarming rate. So you may ask a question that what if one more species gets eradicated? Okay, again, as the example, I'm trying to explain that only from the NCERT. It says that suppose a plane is about to fly and there are rivets, okay, तो जिससे प्लेन जिससे डिफरेंट पार्ट्स को एक साथ अटैच किया हुआ है, एंड ईच पैसेंजर ओवर देयर टेक्स आउट वन रिवेट एंड गोज थिंकिंग कि एक ही रिवेट तो निकाला है, उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. एंड लाइक दैट इफ एवरीबडी स्टार्ट्स टेकिंग वन रिवेट, यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड what is the condition going to be with that particular plane, okay, and definitely there will be a crash. And just like that, you can imagine those rivets with species, and every time one species becomes extinct, okay, what is going to happen to the ecosystem and how is it going to affect the human race? This is the question, okay. So with this question I end up over here. You can post to me your solutions, what you feel, how the species can be preserved, something which is very creative which comes to your mind, you can post it down, okay, instead of writing whatever is there in the textbook. So waiting patiently for your answers. Thank you for watching, and thank you, yes, thank you so much, thank you.